Hey, I just want to say something real quick. You know, when I put scriptures up and stuff like that from the Bible, it's not to be racist or you know what I'm saying. Any to try to spread any type of hate. You know what I'm saying, or try to get people to go at each other, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Bro, the Bible, God, majority of the Bible, you know what I mean? God is love, bro, to me. You know what I'm saying? God is love. The truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? So whether you can't handle the truth and you're fragile, your ego's very, very fragile to that, then you gotta work on yourself. You know what I mean? As a human being, whatever, you have to work on yourself. Because the youth need to know the truth. So if you're afraid to grow, if you're afraid to grow and you're afraid of the truth because you're afraid to grow, you know what I'm saying? So you want people to be stuck like you, which to me is absolutely absurd. It's absurd that you're afraid to grow as a human being. You're afraid to grow, so you want other people to be stuck like you and just be on a surface on a surface level, you know, situation. When that's not cool. You know what I mean? Other people are spiritual, and it's not having to do anything with race. Because since I've been from Pennsylvania, when I lived in PA, you know what I mean? I grew up around Puerto Ricans, whites, black. You know what I mean? My dad is black. You know what I'm saying? My dad is black. My mom was Irish and German, and my dad was black. You know what I mean? Brown skin. So you know that right there, we were never brought up to be racist. You know what I'm saying? We were never brought up. Me coming up in the house, my sisters are a little bit more lighter. You know what I mean? They're lighter than me. I'm probably like the darkest one out of all of them. You know what I mean? Because I take more after my dad. But as we were growing up, we were never taught to be racist. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that we didn't have that racism installed in us because my mom and then my dad. So we treated each other equally. You know what I'm saying? I treated them equally. You know what I mean? We didn't have that hatred, that type of hatred and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have it. You know, so you know what I mean. So it's just like I'm talking about the Bible. I'm talking about God. You know, and I'm talking about, I'm reading scriptures. I'm reading scriptures so that people. I'm more of a spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a spiritual person. So this has nothing to do with race. And then when we moved to Florida, I lived in Florida for 10, 11 years. 12, yeah, 11, 12 years I lived in Florida. You know what I mean? I moved down to Florida when I was 11 years old and stayed down there till I was like 22 or something. Then I came back up Pennsylvania, then I moved back down to Florida for like another year or a year and a half or so. You know what I mean? But now when I moved to Florida, now there was cuz people that are in the military, you know, they got Asians, they got Filipinos, they got Koreans. I had Korean friends, I had Filipino friends. You know what I'm saying? Everything was kind of diverse. It was diversity. You know, it was diverse. It wasn't just black and whites. You know what I'm saying? I had white friends, and the white friends that I hung with, they hung with black folks. You know what I'm saying? The white people that I hung with, they hung with black people too. So it wasn't none of that going on. You know what I mean? We was all getting along. Like we might fight each other or something like that, but we will be cool the next day or 2 days later or something. We might get into a fist fight or something, you know what I'm saying, in front of everybody or whatever. We might fight each other and stuff, but we would be cool 2-3 days later. We'd be cool again. You know what I mean? Because that didn't mean nothing to us. We didn't never blow it up out of proportion. You know what I mean? And start calling each other names, all crazy. It would just be like we would fight, and then we would be cool again. You know what I mean? We didn't do that. We didn't do that like, and then when stuff really went down, we had each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? That's how we knew we was really tight. That's really how we knew we was tight, because when other people would mess with us or something, then we would have each other's backs. And I'm talking about my other mixed homeboys. I'm talking about my white homeboys, and I'm talking about my black homeboys. You know what I mean? Like we had each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing for sure. So to sit there and me talking about the Bible is just that I'm a more spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? We never were racist. We don't have hidden racism. You know, even the people I hung out with, they didn't have hidden racism, yo. Like it wasn't no fake relationships. Like it was real deal relationships we had. We would fight and stuff, and then we'd be cool again. You know what I mean? We ain't let no girls come between us. None of that. Like we already knew. We was click tight. Like for real, we was tight. Like we didn't. You know what I mean? We hung out for years. You know what I'm saying? We hung out for years. You know, and then it just, you know, they started getting, you know, you can't control everybody's life. One of my homeboys got in trouble, you know what I mean, did some stupid stuff. You know what I mean? One of my other homeboys got in trouble, did some stupid stuff. You know, so nobody's talking about hateful stuff in the, you know what I mean? The Bible is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it even says in the Bible that the Bible cuts deep. You know what I'm saying? It cuts deep. It exposes people's true intentions. You know what I'm saying? In Hebrews, where it says that the Bible's like a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? It exposes